Are people ready to spend more to be green? Let's head to Santa Barbara. Brian Sullivan is at the Wall Street Journal's Economics Conference, surrounded by Planet Power players. Brian.
One thing I like about these conferences, Dagan, is that not only do you get to surround yourself with some of the brightest minds in America, really the world, but also you learn. You just come out and you learn stuff. And we talk about solar panels, right? We talk about solar power and photovoltaic cells and alternative energy. Well, BrightSource has actually been doing this for a long time. And what I just learned from the CEO, John Woolard, here, and we're going to chat with him in a moment, is this is not new. That actually BrightSource has been, you've had solar thermal plants going in California for 15 years. Why all of a sudden the attention, and how come this hasn't really gotten press that it's existed? It's been in existence already.
Yeah. Well, to be precise, our engineering team built the 9 largest solar plants in the world back in the 80s, and you learn a lot from the construction of those plants. It was about 90% of the solar power worldwide at the time. And then as carbon was less interesting and natural gas was inexpensive, there wasn't a lot of focus on it. And really, when you looked at renewable portfolio standards, California wanting 20% from renewables, that's what has started to drive this new interest, and up to 33% by 2020. That's driving the renewed interest in decarbonizing the power supply.
How different is the solar technology of 2010 from 1985, from 1990?
In some aspects, it's fairly similar. We still generate steam. We take a lot of mirrors. We then superheat steam. We turn a turbine, just like in conventional fossil fuel.
Yeah. And
it's, a lot less expensive than photovoltaics and a lot more reliable. So the utilities like that reliable characteristic. The advances since the 80s have been higher temperature, higher pressure, which gives you more efficiency and lower cost.
And hopefully more keeping a hold of the electricity that's in transmission, less loss.
There have been some advances in transmission. Yeah, so transmission is always getting slightly more efficient over time, but you're always going to have some slight transmission losses.
Tell us about
from a nuclear plant, coal plant, wind, solar, anything.
Ivanpah, which is going to be massive. It's going to be the biggest solar farm in the world, right?
It will be the biggest solar farm in the world, and it'll actually be the 3 largest solar power plants in the world, all in one location.
Okay, tell us, is this going to happen? Do you have the financing? Do you have the commitments? Where are you in the process? It is called, I should say to our viewers, it's called Ivanpah. It's out in southeastern California, correct?
Right. So we've done years of work on permitting, transmission, and we're moving forward through those processes. But the most important elements have been Bechtel has now signed on to be the contractor for that, which
4,000 jobs.
1,000 jobs.
1,000
jobs at peak. But Bechtel's a very serious engineering company, very credible, very thoughtful. And also now the Department of Energy is providing loan guarantees for this. And it was a very thorough process. And so now we have, it's also one of the only facilities with debt to be able to let the financing move forward.
So it is going to happen?
Yes, yes.
And you've already committed to sell 2/3 of the energy to PG&E and about 1/3 of the energy to Southern California Edison.
Exactly. The energy will all be generated from the sun in one place, but then distributed out through the grid, so the utilities handle everything for the customers.
When theoretically would this be online? When could we get the first power? And it's about 150,000 homes, right?
About 150,000 homes in total, and the first power will be to PG&E at the end of 2012, and then to Southern California Edison in 2013.
John Woolard, CEO of BrightSource Energy, thank you very much.
Thanks, great to meet you.
So Dagan, a lot of the ideas here are a little bit theoretical, right? We've talked to people, and in fact, Vinod Khosla is going to be coming up. And listen, they're big thinkers. So they've got some ideas that are maybe never going to happen. This is a project going to power 150,000 homes in the United States in just a couple of years. So that's happening. We're going to talk to Vinod about what he's working on. And we got a guy named Boone Pickens, apparently, who's pretty big in the natural gas world himself. Also, maybe it's a bit of a wind farm. So lot to talk about. Solar, wind, hamster-powered energy. We got everything. I'm just gonna put a generator on my mouth, and that's like 7 homes could be powered.
You could power the city of Los Angeles with that.
I just threw the softball right at you, Dagan. You can just hit it right out of the park.
Brian, miss you, man.
Thanks.
See you later. After the break.